I received a message from one of my old student, Indra. She said that my brother wanted to do PMP. I said, okay, sure. Fast forward 2 months back. Fast forward from that day to 2 months. Krishna is a certified PMP. And what a journey it had been. Let's take just 1 week of that journey. The last 1 week, he did mock number one, 180. Mock number two, 180. Mock number four, 180. Mock number five, 180. Over my final 6 mocks of 60, all of them, I guess. Right? What
Yeah,
a
five of them, sir.
Five of them.
Five.
What a journey, man. What a hard work. Just loved it. How important this last week was for your PMP success?
Uh, um, this was like more of giving me a lot of confidence in terms of answering any type of questions and validating my understanding of the various concepts and questions that I have answered previously in the previous mocks or the previous training sessions that I've attended with you. So
Mm.
that was like more of validating my understanding and correcting certain things wherein how to approach the nuances of the questions or the hidden twists in the questions, how to understand those fine nuances is something that I've learned in the recent mocks in the last 1 week that I have done, along with the coaching calls that I've also attended during this last 1 week as well.
Mm. Okay, let's go back to the entire 2 month. So how your journey
Okay.
had been, Krishna?
So to start off with, sir, I would say prior to
Mm.
joining your training, I've actually attempted a PMP examination once and I've failed.
When?
And yeah, sorry,
When?
that was in the month of June.
Mm.
So I've taken a training from one of training institutes who offer Agile and PMP trainings.
Mm.
But that was not sufficient. I was thinking that that would be sufficient, and then I went for the examination, and I saw like entirely a different uh,
Game. Different dynamics
set
there.
of questions or
Yeah.
different dimension questions. I would say coming from a different dimension altogether, and
Mm.
that did not suffice actually for clearing. And when I actually joined your training, I could. It was the difference was very visible. It was quite visible that the concepts that I, even though I have attended the previous training, or the extent to which you have explained the concepts and the pattern in which you have explained the concepts, that was absolutely different. And the extensive mocks and the coaching calls and the weekly mocks that we were doing in groups, that has I haven't heard anywhere of that sort of an approach, and that makes your training unique, sir. Absolutely.
Thank you.
I love this kind of an approach, and on top of everything, your follow up, which made me accountable to something. It's not just for myself, but I'm also accountable to answer you, and that is also like a factor of motivation for me, your follow-ups and all. So I love this journey, and I've learned a lot. Whatever I have learned previously, that was a very little percent. I would say that's maybe 5 to 10%, and majority of what PMP is all about is I have learned in your training
Thank you.
sessions.
Krishna, I always say that if when someone comes to me, and they basically say that we have already taken the training and given the exam, etc., etc. I am always more conscious. I am always more conscious. You see, when someone has not taken the training and they take the training, it's my problem now. But when they have taken the training and now they are again giving the exam, I am more conscious. So that's why I did final call with you. But even after, before just sleeping, I sent you a big message how to
Yes, sir.
manage the mindset call. And that was entirely the reason when the most important thing is your mindset in the exam. Your mindset in the exam. And if you can achieve that mindset, there is 100% probability that you can clear the exam. Right? There's a 100%
Yes, sir.
probability. And that is what today's 6 student. have cleared the exam today. You can see that
Yes, yes, I've seen.
seventh student is giving exam right now. So I am
Oh, okay.
finger cross. So if he cleared also, then that will be a personal target for me, equal to that. I had some time back seven student clearing in a day. So it's been
In
long.
a day, okay.
I have multiple time four students, five students, but seven student is something. Maybe more than that we can bake it. Okay,
Great.
Krishna,
I
which
thought
yeah.
I would, if that is going to happen, I'm sure it will happen. Seventh student will also clear the PMP today, and I'll be part of the remarkable day as well. Yeah, I'm happy to be
Thank
a
you,
part of
Krishna.
it.
Thank you. Thank Krishna. Let's talk about the exam. The first thing is how did you manage time?
Yeah. Um, Time actually I have segregated into 80, 75, 75. So my first session was first 60 questions. I've targeted to finish in 80 minutes. Um, while doing it, whenever I have seen a complex question, uh, like when I had this ambiguity between two answers being right for that. So I have selected the most probable answer which I thought, and then I flagged it for review and moved on for the next questions. And at the end of finishing all the 60 questions, I was left with 6 to 7 minutes. I was left with, and at that point of time, I went back to whatever I flagged as review and checked those questions once again, so that I double ensure that okay, these are right that I've selected, because this sort of an approach has today I have learned it today itself, because when I was reading that those questions and answering those questions in a sequence one after the other, uh, I was with one thought process. I was getting one thought process in my mind, and when I went back again after finishing that, so it gave me like a reflection of whether I have done it correctly or not. My thought process is actually like it's cross checking and then validating whether it's right or not. So that also helped me. And like you said, 80, 70, 75 perfectly actually that fitted in. Um, yeah. So I've taken the breaks for 10 minutes for sure. I've ensured that the 10 minutes for breaks were taken. Uh, and I've actually finished the last set of questions just 45 seconds before the end time. So
Oof,
that's how perfectly the time was set.
that is the perfect time. To be very
Yeah.
true, I kind of a person who try to finish 5 minutes before. My either I get too less confident into that. But the most important thing is you cleared it on time. How many drag and drop questions were there?
Just one, sir. Only
One.
one Dragon Ball question.
Okay. That is okay. Then talking about further on, how many formula questions were there?
Formula questions, there were three.
Hmm.
One about the triangular distribution, one about the PERT distribution,
Uh-huh.
uh, and one about the project budget make or buy analysis.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, that's how much of a saving. So
Hmm.
this is something like which we have done in the mock. This is
Hmm.
I mean it's exactly similar, I would say,
Hmm.
from the what we have done in the mock. So we have three questions out of all are the formula based.
Okay, okay, okay. Which area of the exam was most highlighted?
Highlighted was the team, sir, majorly the team and agile. So, like you have mentioned in the video that you have shared yesterday and in your message today, it is all about wearing the hat of being a servant leader and being having the mindset of an agile. So that has actually helped me a lot today in terms of approaching questions and answering them properly, because most like I would say at least 50% or 60% of the questions I would say are based on team and agile.
Hmm. Okay, and that is good. Okay, let's talk a further bit into that context. When we are talking about the team agile, how much important stakeholder communication is?
Stakeholder communication. So in terms of the number of questions, sir,
Yes.
yeah. Stakeholder communications are also I've got the next set of questions. I would say at least five questions at least I've got on stakeholders. Whether they are satisfied with the communications that they're receiving, or whether they are being involved in the reports or the progress of the project and all. So these sort of questions, at least five questions have come up in the examination regarding stakeholders.
Mm. Okay, okay. What else you can share with the people that can help in PMP?
Okay, so this is, I would say, while I was attempting all the questions, sir, very frankly, 70% on the lower end, 70% of the questions on the lower end, I'm talking about the lower end, I'm not
Mm,
talking on the higher end. 70% of the questions are like most familiar to me because I've, I've attempted all the mocks that you have shared with me.
mm,
So everything, all the concepts, the situations, the contexts, the type of questions that are framed, 70% are from the mocks that we have done or that you have framed for every one of us. So
mm,
that's the key takeaway, I would say. If anyone does these mocks perfectly, doing the RCA, I'm not saying perfectly in the sense scoring 100% in all these mocks, but it's about doing the RCA and understanding these mocks and answers. So that will help them score 70% for sure.
mm. Okay, okay. That is a beautiful thing. Okay, putting that into that same context, if we put in that, there are people who have issue with the time management. So how would you recommend them how they can overcome that?
So during the mocks itself, I would say what I have done, I've practiced it like, I have put a target for myself, like I would finish a set of 10 questions in maybe around 12 to 13 minutes. So
Okay.
during the random mocks 10 or during the random mocks 15, I've practiced this sort of a thing wherein I've given an additional of 3 minutes or additional of 2 minutes based on the number of questions that I'm answering, so
Mm,
that that I practice reading that I'm already familiar with reading those questions and the options in this duration.
mm,
So during the mock itself, I would say this is a practice that we should follow so that we would be able to read the question in that stipulated time. That builds the practice, and when we go on to the examination, we can read that question in that stipulated time and then answer that in an appropriate manner.
mm.
So that's on practice, sir, I would say, according to me.
Okay. This is a very important thing. Thank you very much, Krishna. Now comes to the most important thing. Each one teach one is the mantra of the game. You know how much effective my mastermind group is. You know how much my facilitator, Trimji, Laiba, and everyone else is working there. I want you to listen, right? In the
Definitely, sir.
mastermind group, I need you to be very active and work with the people. And please make 20 questions of exam like we will be using
Okay.
in the next PMP marathon. Okay. Okay, Krishna, thank you very much for that. Send me your good picture, or I can use that one also for the
Okay.
certificate. That was a very good picture, right? So thank you very much,
So that
Krishna.
was just out of the after coming just out of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
center. So I've
and
taken that picture, and
that's
you can
very
see
good.
that my expression was exhausted.
That's a very good
Yeah,
picture. I actually asked
definitely.
3 4 people to do picture, but you did it yourself. I make my picture yesterday. I did portfolio, so I did the picture something like that. I had nobody, so I did it, took it myself. But your picture is better than mine. Thank you, Krishna. Thank you very
Thank you,
much
sir.
for your time.